Excuse me, Mr. DJ.
Hey, check this out. We got a great show coming your way.
From the ECSI Sports Studios, it's the Midday Market Report with Jeff Dawson.
Hey sports fans, are you ready for an exhilarating gaming experience? Introducing VIPclub.lv, your ultimate online sportsbook and casino. VIPclub.lv offers a vast selection of sports, from football and basketball to tennis and baseball. Bet on your favorite teams and enjoy the thrill of the game. But that's not all. Our state-of-the-art online casino offers a dazzling array of games, including slots, blackjack, roulette, and live dealer tables. Win big with their fantastic promotions, rewards, and exclusive offers. Join VIPclub.lv today and get a generous 200% match welcome bonus to start your winning streak. And make sure to use code ECSI at sign-up. Bet it, win it, and cash it at VIPclub.lv. Visit VIPclub.lv now and play responsibly. VIPclub.lv, your sportsbook and casino extravaganza. Must be 21 or older to play. Please gamble responsibly. Visit gambleware.org for help.
Good afternoon, sports fans from all around the globe. I am the host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, and this is your Midday Market Report for Thursday, June 22nd, 2023. Our weekly trip to L.A. with gambling Twitter OG, good friend and colleague, Mr. Pop Dibiase, talking some L.A. sports, the NBA draft. Tonight as well. We'll talk about the Celtics getting smart by adding the unicorn. Was it smart? Shout out to our new sponsor, VIPclub.lv at checkout. Always use the promo code ECSI. Tell them JD sent you, and they'll take care of you. To the guys behind the desk, Ben Cohen, Joseph Shea, Cade Horton, thank you for all your hard work for the summer of 2023 and beyond. So without further ado, let's bring them in. The one, the only, as I'm scrolling here looking for something, bear with me. Wow, I'm struggling here. Wonder why I need a producer. Mr. Pop Dibiase. What up, Pops?
What's up? What's going on, Jeff? How's everything going, brother?
It's going. How about yourself?
Oh, man, it's just another week in paradise. You know how it goes.
What is going on? It's draft day. It's well, let's backtrack. You know, I know we talk LA sports here and stuff, but what was your take on Marcus Smart leaving the building and the Celtics bringing back Porzingis, the unicorn, but it was going to be for Brogdon, and Celtics Nation was all happy with that. Well, now Smart has left the building, and it's like a tear. How can you let Mr. Smart leave?
I just think that it's more about it's fans, you know what I mean? And it's hard for fans to let go sometimes. I know that the Lakers have had players like that when they got traded, that it was just broke everybody's heart. You know, when Eddie Jones got moved to Charlotte, that was a heartbreaker for a lot of us. You know what I mean? Because you wanted Eddie and Kobe and Shaq and Nick to all be together and, you know, be this great unit because, you know, that the year before they had just came off of being all-stars in New York City at the Garden. So you got really excited about that. But for you to make the champion, for us to get the championship that they got soon after that, you have to make these tough decisions. And I think that the Boston Celtics told themselves that, you know what, we're trying to get rid of Brogdon because Brogdon has some injury issues. And we like the guy. We love the guy. But he's hurt. And we're probably never going to get what we really want out of him. So why don't we go ahead and scam somebody real quick to take him? But they sent his medical records over, and the doctor, whoever the doctor was who decided that this wasn't going to happen, you know, said shut it down. And it seemed like Boston and Washington were always going to make this deal happen. It's just that the Clippers just got uninterested. But they had 4 other teams online too. because Boston has enough assets to move. That's the whole thing. And that's why they were able to make this deal happen, because Boston has attractive things. You know what I mean? And then they were going to get rid of Gallinari in the deal as well, too. Gallinari gets to stick around and actually play for the Celtics like he envisioned himself when he picked them in free agency. So this team actually really did make the right move, and they refused to walk away from the table. And you know what? Washington, I know a lot of people don't get what Washington's doing right now. They got rid of Bill and Porzingis, two of their top players, but really, what do those guys bring to the table? They still missed the playoffs last year, and those guys still missed half the season anyway. So there's no point of sitting up in here and crying over spilled milk. They got what they could for these guys. It's that simple. They got what they absolutely could, because they are rebuilding the team from the ground up. And I like it. I like when a new GM comes into town and he knows you're a loser. Just get rid of all these guys, dude. And let's go ahead and we're going to build the team up the way that I want to build the team up. Are we tanking? Probably so, but we're not going to admit that we're tanking. What we're going to do is we're going to build the team in the identity that I feel this team can win in. And we're not winning this way. So these guys have to go. And I think that was a very bold move and a very strong move by the Washington Wizards. But I really like what the Celtics did, because the Celtics have brought in a guy who's a legit member of a big three. Porzingis can take over games at any given time, and Porzingis is coming off the best career averages that he's had ever in the NBA, and this was in a very quiet season in Washington. Just picture him being in Boston and playing even better than he did last year in Washington, and he can take Boston to the level that Boston wants to get to, and that's getting back to winning a world championship. Boston's just like the Lakers. They're not satisfied with just getting to the finals. They have to win the whole enchilada. And they brought the right player to get the whole enchilada, in my opinion. He's 7'3". He can shoot the three. He's athletic. He can rebound. He plays a little bit of defense. And see, now he's with winners. And when you're with winners, you either step it up, or he can become another asset for the Celtics that they can move down the road as well, too, for another big name. So they are in good shape right now. And I don't want to bring the racial stuff into it, Jeff, but let's keep it real. I won't say the word, but he's right for the Boston Celtics. You know what I mean? He's the right type of player for the Celtics to, really get behind. So you're not going to miss Marcus Smart too much. It'll take 2 quarters and y'all be over Marcus Smart fairly quick.
Well, I think as the deal progressed, I think Gallinari and one of their bigs did end up getting moved as well. So Gallinari got a check all year from us, and now he's moving on. I was just trying to scroll Twitter to get the full details, but I think they ended up, maybe it was more from money-wise. Gallinari and one of the other bigs the Celtics had did move on. But, I know this is the first of many. I know Pritchard wanted out. I know initially Grant Williams wanted out. I don't know if they're going to get stuck with Brogdon. I'm a Brogdon guy. And if it's just, hey, you got to sit out the first half of the year, I'm fine with that. They're eyeing, maybe you can help me here. They have a couple draft picks now in the first round. Around the 10 spot, is it Cam Whitmore? So, is that his name in the draft tonight?
Yeah, Cam Whitmore goes to who went to Villanova. He might not. I don't think he'll be there at 10 though, because they got that guy in the top 6. And I would say that this kid that we talked about a moment ago, if he's available still, one of them, the Thompson twins, Boston should really look at that situation and look at that situation pretty hard. Boston is. I think Boston's really though. Boston's not done yet. I think Boston understands that they are not in position to really worry about bringing in a rookie player, a young player, because a young player is just another asset to move for a veteran. And at this point, when you become good in the NBA, you don't have to sit there and be like, oh, okay, what rookie do I get this year? What guy is going to improve the franchise? Who's going to be the face of the franchise? Who's going to be the 2K leader of the team? No. When you're good in the NBA and you're at the brink of a title, let those sorry-ass teams get that. Let them have a number 10 pick or rebuild and do whatever they have to do. Go get you some more players that are going to help you get to the end goal. That's winning a championship at the end of the day. The Celtics have the best duo in basketball. I don't care what anybody says. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, reason why everybody was so quick to talk so bad about them is because we know how good they are, and we know their potential of how great they can possibly be. And, they have it to where they could be better than, I know this sounds crazy today, and your boys will probably cut it up and make it a clip as well, but they could end up being better than Jordan and Pippen if they can just get the right teammates behind them. And if they have to find the right group. Grant Williams, y'all need to let that guy go. He's worthless, in my opinion. He was good to get his money, but after that, once he got paid, he's too busy trying to be buddy with the rest of the NBA. White, that's a good role player right there. Pritchard, who are you? You can move on, do whatever you want to do, buddy. You're a bench guy. It doesn't matter. You hit a few threes sometimes, whatever. You know what I mean? You get the guys that are sitting up at top really excited about watching you play, but you're not really worth anything either. So pretty much, I think that the Celtics really are in position right now to put themselves into position where nobody in the East is going to beat us next season, buddy. We're not going to have flaws. We're not going to have these issues. We're not going to have these problems. We're not going to have any of that because we're going to put together the best possible team. So all Muscula got to do is just show up. That's it. Just show up. And that's all we need you to do. We don't need you to act like you know what you're talking about or any of that stuff. We're just going to have these guys show up and they'll play great basketball. Brad, send down the game plan nightly. Simple.
I got one more for you. Phoenix, who makes the move for Bradley Beal, they got their offense all set with Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, and Mr. Booker. They're lacking rim protection. It's been floated around here. I think it's the perfect swap. What do you think of the Celtics Suns doing a Williams for Aiden swap?
I think that works out perfectly because, see, you guys can get Aiden there, and Aiden doesn't have, once again, now you're playing for a legit team that can be in the finals next year. The Phoenix Suns were doing way too much maneuver, and they got rid of the core of the team, and they were never going to win a title. I don't care what anybody says. And you were dealing with Kevin Durant coming fresh off of a leg injury. Yeah, you weren't getting anything. So pretty much I would say that, and it's funny you brought that up because I thought that Boston should be in the Aiden business right now. They should be heavy on Aiden. And I would say this, okay, the Phoenix Suns would be willing to go ahead and take that 10th pick from you tonight. If you were to get
we don't have the 10th pick. We have a couple picks. So I heard the 2 picks and then maybe moving up with another player to try to sneak in there for Cam. But listen, Robert Williams, when healthy, and we know he can't stay on the court, but he blocks the rim. He's a force. But my point is, Aiden is not now part of that offense, and he's already sulking. He's already said he wants to get his 18 points a game. He would have been the perfect fit in my eyes. I'll take the swap. I'll give you. Listen, if you get Robert Williams to stay healthy in Phoenix with those 3, I think you got a good shot to win the West. You add Tatum, Brown, now you have Porzingis, you got a Brogdon, Horford, whatever the other pieces are, but you add an Aiden in that middle, Pops. You're definitely the team to beat in the East.
Yeah, man, it wouldn't even be the team to beat. They would just literally just go ahead and walk them to the finals now because Aiden is perfect for the Joel Embiid, for what you need for Joel Embiid, because I don't care what anybody says, Philadelphia hasn't been barking as much as these other teams, but they're about to make a monster move as well too. And I know that literally we are going to have ourselves Boston and Philadelphia playing in the conference finals. I'm calling it now because they're breaking up the band down there in Milwaukee. Milwaukee's coming with a brand new head coach who ain't never been to anything other than being on somebody's bench. You know what I mean? Yeah, they won a little championship there in Toronto, but, that's one of the more forgettable championships of all time. So pretty much I think that when it comes down to it, that you do have a great great opportunity to get Aiden, and I think Aiden would be the perfect fit. But I really don't like the way that the Suns are doing them. You drafted the guy number 1. That means that you said you want this guy to be the leader in the face of our franchise. That's what they were looking at, because they weren't confident that they were going to still have Devin Booker. They were thinking about moving on from Devin Booker. And I think that the only way you were going to ever let Aiden be the guy for your team and really move into the right direction, you would have had to get rid of Devin Booker, which I would have thought would have been a great idea a few years ago, to be honest with you. I know it sounds crazy today, right now that I'm saying it, but it would have been a great idea to get rid of Devin Booker when you drafted Aiden, because then Aiden, you could build around your centerpiece and bring him all the players that he needed. And see, Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, those guys wouldn't be gone now. But since you have a guy like Booker who's kind of demanding to play with another all-star and all this other stuff, now you're getting rid of these great core players that are championship players, Jeff. Everybody can't be an all-star, but they can be a high-end role player. And these high-end role players got sent to Brooklyn. Brooklyn kind of didn't miss a beat. They fell back to 6, but they had to worry about being in a play-in. You know what I mean? They had it in play. They had some guys over there that loved playing for the Brooklyn Nets. You know what I mean? And so pretty much you got rid of, and the same thing happened with Dallas. Dallas got rid of their core players as well too, and they all went to Brooklyn, and we're like, damn, we get to have some fun now. We get to actually get some attention now. So, I just really feel that you getting Bradley Beal and kind of trying to disregard Aiden is stupid. You got to keep Aiden as your big 3. Bradley Beal doesn't bring a winning mentality with him. I know he fools us that he does, but he doesn't. He's another one that just loves to pat his pockets with money. That's it. Him, Lillard, all those guys, they love the money. They love being great at basketball, but they're comfortable with being mediocre as well too when it comes to actually. And that's just what they are at the end of the day. They didn't play for Brad did play for the best school in St. Louis in high school, and he played for Florida, who was a top 5 team when he was there. But Lillard, on the other hand, he played for whatever high school in Oakland, and then he went and played for Weber State of all teams. You know what I mean? So where is his real competitive spirit at? You know what I mean? It seems like you're pretty much settled of where you can be at. You would rather be the biggest fish in the smallest pond. You don't want players like that. That's not conducive to winning. They're not thinking about winning. That's the problem. Maybe when they're old, can barely walk, you go get them then on these teams thinking championship. But you leave these stat patters and these great these great financial advisors, you leave them be, because they're not in the NBA to win championships. They're in the NBA for the money. Well, everybody's there for the money, but they're blatantly showing you that's what they're just truly here for, because they're not worried about winning championships. It was funny. Dame even said, I would much rather them trade the pick. Well, they much rather trade you, but they're stuck with $60 million on the cap, and they can't do anything about it because everybody else said, they really feel like people were picking up the phone for Dame deals. No, they were hanging the phone up. We're not taking that contract. $60 million for the guy to throw up 70 footers every game? No, I'm cool. I'm all right. Yeah, guy gets 171-point game. Now we all got to sit up in here and praise him like he's Kobe. No, not at all, buddy. You just had a really good night, hot night, and pretty much they decided not to play any defense on you because why? You're shooting reckless shots. I don't want nobody like that on my team. You can stay right there in Portland. You don't trade Dame to a good team. You trade him to an even worse team.
They retracted and said we're not answering any calls. We're all set. Right after he says bring Zion here. Any chance that they could get in on the Zion sweepstakes, or is Zion sticking and staying?
I think that New Orleans just needed a whole lot of theater because they're an irrelevant franchise. So with Zion having the situation that he came into, which is not important, so we don't need to talk about it because it's a he said, she said situation. And you know what? The more and more she talked, the more and more I stopped kind of believing anything she was talking about. So pretty much, and everybody's like, no. I I'm a man too, and I know sometimes and women be lying, dog. So and when you pay them some attention, they can come up with a whole novel about you. You know what I mean? So pretty much, I think Zion going to Portland would be a great situation, but Dame Lillard can't get him to discipline himself. He can't get him to say, you know what, I'm committed to coming in here and we gonna win some games. So if you were to do that situation, I would much rather them try to go for Brandon Ingram since the Brandon Ingram's name is there. But I think that New Orleans wanted to see if they could shice somebody for some picks because they wanted multiple first picks in the draft. And they're just trying to deal with teams that they know are going to be in the lottery. So they know that's not really Zion's desire. And they really, in reality, people can say what they want, but this is somebody who's tweeting their own opinion. You know what I mean, Jeff? Nobody from the Pelicans has came out and said, I don't want Zion here anymore. I don't want Zion here anymore. Zion's not going to be a part of our franchise anymore. When did they ever say that? They haven't said it one time. And literally, they just like the theater, to be honest with you. And I just keep having this growing assumption that he's not going anywhere. He's going to stay right there at home. Which happened is that he got the reality check that he needs to get healthy and that he needs to play at least 75% of the season. So then he can go ahead and they can accommodate him with the biggest deal in NBA history because that's what's coming next. And pretty much, people have to just understand Zion, with the sample size we've seen, he's a spectacular player. You wouldn't spend this much time on the guy if he didn't show you what he could do, Jeff. You know what I mean? If it was really that bad, he would have been out the NBA already. He'd have been done 2 years ago. But the guy is phenomenal when he can be healthy and he can be on the court. So New Orleans knows that. Do we really want to give that up for almost nothing? They want a Westbrook type ransom for Zion in reality. And we all know this. And they're trying to see what team would be ready to belly up and do it. And I would say that if the Blazers truly want to win with Dame Lillard, they would do it. But what happens is you got to get rid of Anthony Simons. You got to get rid of Shadir. You got to do exactly what the Lakers had to do. Give up your whole group of great young potential to see if we can work this thing out with these two. I think that they're not in the business to do that. I think that the Portland Trail Blazers are really in the business to see how they can go ahead and figure out a way to move Dame by midseason. Because I don't know if they're gonna lie and say they want him to us because they don't want to cause any tension. Because Dame Lillard come in there with all his family members. Why are you talking about me like that? You know what I mean? So they gotta kind of dial it. They gotta kind of play in secrecy a little bit. You know what I mean? But I think at the end of the day, they're gonna have a falling out soon, Jeff. So that's what I'm keying in on. And when the falling out happens, then that's when they can get rid of him. Because it's coming, Jeff. It doesn't matter. Because the Blazers, if I'm the owner, the general manager, I'm really tired of this ish, to be honest with you. And I got a great fan base here that I know will show up for a winner and love a winner. But they're not going to keep showing up for a guy shooting 52 shots a game to make 22 points. Yeah, they're not going to keep showing up for the Ball Hall Classic every single night. You know what I mean? And I like Dame. I love Dame. I think Dame's a great player, but I always felt like Dame has always been a bit. He's always been too much too fast. You know what I mean? Or just too much. Period. You know what I mean? And I think that a lot of people I think that he's more overrated than anything, Jeff. That's my point. You know what I mean? I think that people put a lot on him because he's hit some memorable buzzer beaters and things of that nature. But I don't even consider him a top 5 player in the league, to be honest with you. He can score. That's great. But he doesn't play defense. I count a lot of things in the NBA when it comes to who's really the top 5. Everybody can score, Jeff. Everybody can score. But if you can't play no defense, if you can't really make your teammates better, then how good are you? Honestly, how good are you? Truly, are you? You know what I mean? You're just good enough. That's it.
Lastly, in the NBA for you, I saw before we came on, Lakers make a move. Little talk about the Lakers. Anything to expect tonight on draft night, and what are you hearing back there?
No, I haven't heard much of anything but people up in here and Laker Nation as usual making up imaginary trades. 17th pick and Mo Bamba and Beasley to the Pacers for Buddy Hield and Miles Turner. I'm like, okay, let's get away. Let's come back from imagination land because that's not going to happen. Then you hear about possibly if Derek Lively's still there. He said that the Lakers were very impressed with his shooting, but what he doesn't understand is all these teams will tell all these guys who try out for him at these little workouts and stuff that they were phenomenal and that they were great, and that if they're there they'll take them. That's always just big. That's just good little talk right there. Just like when a job says, okay, we're going to call you back next week. You pretty much got the job. We just got to talk about it with our other managers. That means that we like that. Thanks for showing up for the interview, but most likely we're not going to get you. You know what I mean? So pretty much, but that's just to be nice, to get you excited, to make you be prepared to be on their team. So if I was the Lakers, man, I would really love for the Lakers to draft Emoni Bates, because Emoni Bates, in reality, if nothing would have happened to him, if everything would have went right with him, where he didn't mess up, if he'd just decided to go to Michigan State, play for Izzo, all that good stuff, he would have been a top 3 pick last year, Jeff, and possibly the number 1 pick in the draft, because he would have been perfect for Houston last year. You know what I mean? Or who was the number 1 pick last year? It wasn't Houston. It was it was Orlando. He would have been perfect in Orlando. He would have been perfect in Houston, and he would have been perfect in Charlotte. So Charlotte wasn't in the top 3. What the hell am I talking about? But all those teams that were in the top 3, Jeff. Which club? Because that OKC was the 3rd team. So he would have fit in any of those places, coming out as a freshman, all that good stuff. But he decided to play for who I'm starting to see as the freshman killer in a sense, Penny Hardaway. Penny Hardaway they've trusted Penny Hardaway way too much with way too many talented players for his coaching ability. Penny Hardaway is really like a division, is really like a coach that belongs in like the Big Sky or the Big South or something like that, not in primetime NCAA basketball. Literally, he needed to work into the position, but he didn't. And so pretty much what happens is that he's coaching these guys like an AAU team, and he's just pretty much babysitting as well, too. I love what Hurley said about Calipari the other day. He said, well, you just realized that you were babysitting for the last 10 years, and that's why you've been getting your ass kicked left and right in the tournament and in the SEC, because nobody's doing that anymore. People actually develop players now. They just don't let them come get some free meals and free trips on the university's dime. You know what I mean? So I truly think Emoni Bates would be the right fit for the Lakers, because he's a guy that could become a star. You know what I mean? If you develop him right. And I think that he's a guy who can be an instant impact, and LeBron to let him play a little bit. You know what I mean? Because it just seems like you got to have LeBron's permission to really develop players. Because for LeBron, it's better if they come from the G League, because they're not a threat. But if there's some type of rookie and they're young and they're good, then that means that he might have to share the spotlight a little bit. And I know he don't like that too much anymore. You know what I mean? He used to say that he did, but now it got to be all about LeBron. You know what I mean? It's funny. Mike Malone brings up the Lakers, and then he thought it was, and then it's literally, oh, well, we're taking shots at me and blah, 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 blah. Dude, he's talking about the Lakers. He didn't say the LeBron. And see, this is where we got a problem at because this would be unacceptable in Boston. So why is it accepted in LA? Dude, seriously. He walks around like he's been with us for the last 30 years. The guy's been with us for a few seasons. You belong to Cleveland. We got you on a rental, buddy. And I just really, it's just, Jeff, why can't he just move on, man? 20 years in the league ain't good enough for him. You're not. He'll win 7 championships, and they're still going to talk about Jordan. It's still going to say Jordan's better. It doesn't matter. You're never going to win those people. You're just not, and you're not really going to win anybody because literally you didn't have the right complexion, man. If it would have been Jokic, is LeBron James coming out, 20 years ago and everything, man, it would be Brady stuff for him right now. You know what I mean? But, LeBron is just a guy that people don't like. And it's just that simple. I think that, he's done some great things. He's done some great stuff. But I just truly do feel that time is up, and I think the NBA needs to be released because we don't like the league anymore because we got the oldest guy in the league, literally still the best player in the league. So that means that you guys aren't any good. How can we really gauge who the next up is if you won't leave? You know what I mean? And so pretty much the NBA is at a discourse right now, and hopefully this is a great draft that starts showing people like LeBron the writing on the wall. It's sad now that when you look up, he's the only one left. Even people that were drafted in 2010, Jeff, are out the league. 2013, out the league. You look up, this guy's still running up and down the court. You know what I mean? So we'll see, Jeff. But the Lakers, all in all, a rookie is not what they need, right? Is a rookie will be great, but the Lakers do need to add in a piece. They truly do. And if they add in a piece, they could be going somewhere. And I would like for the Lakers to really explore bringing in James Harden. Because I just think that he's the perfect type of player that LeBron and them can use for this situation. You were trying to get what Harden can do out of D'Angelo Russell. So why don't you just go ahead and do it? Because if you bring him in, you can do a sign and trade where you send Russell to the Sixers and you bring Harden to the Lakers. And I think that will work because Harden's from LA. Harden is a Kobeite as well too. And I just think that it would be a great moment for him to come play in Los Angeles and come play for the Lakers and help the Lakers possibly win a championship because he's the type of player that is better for the situation because he's a pass first guy and he's very into, the team portion of basketball, regardless of what people think about James Harden. He does get into the team portion of it as well, too. He just had to carry the Rockets for all that time. So, there I am with that. But we'll see, though, man. I'm not going too crazy about the Lakers right now. The Lakers are going to make their moves, and everything is always based on what LeBron wants to do. So, we're stuck. We used to be a franchise that used to be a trailblazer. Now we're just a hostage. So you see how it goes, Jeff. About 5 teams in the NBA are being held hostage right now. We can tell your Celtics aren't.
Well, as we transition here, I mean, we usually don't have 35 minutes of NBA talk, so we're going to go here because, if you look at this year's MLB Pops and you look at the cast of characters, look what the Marlins are doing, look what the Reds are doing. You got a Central in the AL where the leading team was under 500. The Rangers, who big signing of DeGrom, no DeGrom, no problem. The mighty are falling. Rays come out guns a-blazing, holding off the Yankees, who are all banged up. The Mets nowhere to be found. The Braves being the Braves. My point here is in the NL West, the Arizona Diamondbacks, the San Francisco Giants, And then we talk about the Dodgers and the flops of the Padres who just can't hit their way. That team get guys on scoring position. They might as well hit it off a tee from second base. They just can't score. Bogart struggling. Soto worrying about walks. Tatis is the only one ripping the ball. Manny's Manny. I like Manny. But my point is, as a Dodger guy, I know we say it, the Diamondbacks are going to fall back to reality. And then the Giants get hot. How you feeling about the Dodgers? How you feeling about the NL West?
Well, you know what? The Dodgers got a real reality check this weekend, and I kind of appreciate the Giants coming in here and absolutely embarrassing the Dodgers. You know, the Dodgers had a 4-0 lead. They had their brand new call up there on the mound. He was Dylan. He was doing well. He pitched 6 no-hit innings, blah, 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 blah. And then the bullpen comes in there. They blow the game. Next day, the Dodgers got a real reality check. They wound up losing 15-0. That's the worst loss in Dodgers-Giants history when it comes to one of their games against each other. 15-0. 15-0. You know, the worst beatdown at Dodger Stadium ever. And I've seen the Dodgers give up 19 runs at home, but they didn't score 0 runs with it. You know what I mean? So pretty much what happens is that the Dodgers are in position now to where that they're going to have to say, you know what, we're going to have to stop holding on to the farm so tough and go get the players that are going to help us win in the playoffs, because Dodgers are still going to make the playoffs. Don't worry about that. They'll still be there. But let's talk about how good the National League in general is. Once you look at the Dodgers, once we get past the wild card situation, there's 6 teams in play for the wild card spots. Then you look at the Dodgers in their situation right now. 4 of those teams play. 4 of the teams are in their division. So, you know, you got the Padres who can't get right. Then you got the Giants who just caught a good streak. But you still got to say, okay, you still got July, fellas. But Arizona, I'm going to stop saying they're going to fall back down to earth and all this stuff, because they not hearing nobody about that. This team is playing great baseball right now. They have one of the best rookie in baseball. They have some of the best rookies in baseball, period, point blank, some of the best young players. They've been doing a great job of developing their talent. You know who they remind me of somewhat? They kind of remind me of the Dodgers back in about 06, 07 when they had Russell Martin and James Lonely, young puppies, Andre Ethier, and all these guys could play. All of them can play. You know what I mean? And Perdomo, all these guys are really good. And then what makes them really good is that they got Gallen pitching well. They got Merrill pitching well. They got Davies pitching well. Their starting rotation is much better than I even thought they were going to be. But I said on 30 teams in 30 days that Arizona was going to be a much better team because they finished the second half of the season pretty well. Nobody talked about it, though, because they were still a lousy team because they had such a bad first half. But sometimes when a team finishes a certain way during the season, it carries to the next year. And the Dodgers, their mentality is the teams that are in California, the Padres down south, the Giants up north. We don't have to worry about the guys in the mountains, and we don't have to worry about the guys in the desert. But sometimes the guys in the desert decide to finally be good. And that's what happens. Arizona always kind of finds magic in the water because they develop talent so well. Nobody talks about it enough, but they develop talent so well in Arizona. And Arizona is one of the minor league hubs. So pretty much it's just like the Devil Rays. You're going to have a good eye of your guys. They're right over the what's called. I think that Arizona is probably the only team that actually does everything in their own facility, right? In Phoenix, right, Jeff? Because when it comes to the D-backs, I think their spring training facility is actually their home stadium. So they have a really big advantage when it comes to developing guys and knowing who their best players truly are. So they're playing at a level right now of frustration in a sense because they've been so bad for so long. And you know, that's just that's just a great compliment to the Dodgers because the Dodgers have been so tough to catch that by the time you got an opportunity to catch them, you can't let go. You can't be like, oh yeah, let's chill and we lackadaisical because you know what time it is. The Dodgers still ain't had their 10-game winning streak yet, which will be coming soon. You know, the Dodgers is the only team in that division right now that hasn't had the opportunity to have a big winning streak. They've had 6 in a row. You know what I mean? But you saw Arizona, they won 8, 9 in a row twice. And then you seen San Francisco is just going on, is just tearing it up. They're 10-game run. It's expected. You should be right here. Just like the Reds, 11-game run. It's expected. You should be right here. You was just in 4th place last week. But guess who else is getting hot? The Cubs. So, at the end of the day, I keep looking, though. I say, look at their schedule, though. The team that swept them this month is still the team that's sitting behind them a half a game, the Brewers. So let's not hand the Reds the Central yet because they just are on a hot streak, just like your boys Pirates. Pirates fans is up in there, oh, man, it's just like 78 all over again. They thought they was going to be a part of October. Then O'Neal gets hurt. They still were good. So everybody had this idea, oh, they're still going to be a part of October. You look at them now. Guess where they sit at, Jeff? 4th place, 34-39 since going 20-7. So what does that mean? That team has went 14-32 since that point. All right, let's moving forward. You know what I mean, Jeff? It is what it is. Baseball does not end in the summer. Baseball ends at the end of September. So I'm not worried about the Dodgers right now. But I am worried about falling further than where we need to be. The Dodgers shouldn't be in 3rd place right now. But that's what it is. If that's the reality check that you need, the wake-up call that you need, perfect. But I said this from day one. The Dodgers were going to have a season where they had some struggle to it. They didn't have the ultimate pitching staff as they've had over the last few years. They don't have these tremendous hitters anymore and Seager and Bellinger who were homegrown. The Dodgers are dealing with a lot of free agents, a lot of new faces, people that we didn't develop. And the 2 guys that we are developing, Vargas and Outman, they're doing a great job right now too, but they're going through the woes of being rookies because they don't have those good old solid Dodger veterans there. That's what's really killing me is that we don't have those guys anymore, Jeff. It's sad, because Turner's gone, Belly's gone, Seager's gone, and you say, well, how about Chris? No. CT? No, not at all. Chris Taylor was a guy that was a pickup over the years. You know what I mean? We saved his career. He's not a guy that we developed. You know what I mean? And you know what I'm talking about because your Red Sox have this situation where they got 7 guys that all came up through the Red Sox farm system, and they're all still a part of the team. The Dodgers don't have that situation right now. A lot of the Dodgers that were a part of this team and made up this team and made them really good are gone. So they are in renovation. I wouldn't call the Dodgers a rebuild. They're a renovation because the Dodgers have one of the more talented pools in the minor league as well, too. So there's a lot of things that the Dodgers have working for them. But I'm going to say this. Be ready for the Dodgers to have a much improved team once we get to the trade deadline. And I think that they'll be adding themselves a legitimate hitter, a guy with a name, possibly a former All-Star, and they'll be adding 4 or 5 pitchers, starter, few relievers, and they're probably going to go ahead and trade for a closer because they got to do it. So we'll see how it goes. But Giants, it's good to see them in the mix. You know what I mean? The Giants have a team that I kind of felt if they would have been able to spark it up just a little bit, they could be right there, and they're right there. And then, San Diego's a flop, and I'm quick to say that too because I thought San Diego would be right there, being the Dodgers' headache all season, but really they haven't been anything to the Dodgers. But that's what happens when teams are talking too much and doing too much BS in the dugout. Like, yeah, I understand everybody likes to celebrate, but Jeff, don't you think it's getting a little out of hand too? Like, geez Louise. And it's funny because it's not the teams that are really good, it's all the bad teams. Like, dude, you guys suck. Like, literally, you lost the game by 9 runs. What are we doing in here celebrating this little stupid home run this little cheap home run that you just got? Dude, sit down. We can't celebrate when we losing, man. I blame Miami. They brought that damn defense chain out, and everybody lost their mind since. And you notice that nobody wins championships who does that. So I think maybe we could stop doing that. Coach comes in there and they do that on the first touchdown of the season with me. I'll fire that coach if I was the head coach. Straight up. Because I know they wouldn't tell me nothing about that. Because I'm shutting it down, Jeff. I need my guys focused.
Before we wrap it up here, how's the horses been treating you? I'm following you all weekend, and you're been crushing the horses out west and stuff. How's that been going?
Well, we finished off the Santa Anita meet, the Hollywood meet, because Santa Anita has 2 meets that pretty much coincide with each other. And it's the old Hollywood meet. The Hollywood meet is the old Hollywood Park meet, And Santa Anita, has to stay open literally 6 months to start the year. So it was truly a pretty good way to end it with 8-1 horse or 6-1 horse. And so it was pretty good to end it with that. We had a pretty good 3 weeks. We hit the pick 6-2 twice in a row. That was pretty good. We hit one on a Sunday, then we came back around, hit it on a Friday. Sunday, Monday, one of them days, but we hit it twice in a row. Also, we hit a bunch of pick 4s at the end of the day as well, too, at Santa Anita. So you guys follow those cards and follow those tickets. But I'm working back up on my website again. I'm going to start working on it a lot this weekend. And a lot of the horse plays are going to go directly there, and I won't keep bugging you. I won't keep annoying y'all with all the tweets and everything like that. I know that people like the tweets, but then there's people that come into my Twitter like, man, dude, you're tweeting a lot. Like, but don't you guys want information? I don't get it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But, sometimes when you're tagging people, I learned this in the media too a long time ago. Sometimes when you're tagging people, you can't tag them with certain companies and certain businesses because you're actually kind of blowing up their spot. And they got to kind of act like they don't know you. You know what I mean? So pretty much, you got to make sure that you do things correctly because they're not trying to dish you or anything like that. It's just that it's a conflict of interest if they show up with this company right here. So if it's like if Jeff came in and was talking PTSI stuff, knowing that he's East Coast Sports Investors, but he's an employee at East Coast Sports Investors, then Big Jeff will fire Jeff. So, that's, kind of like my phrasing with that. So all in all, horse racing's been good. I've been loving Belmont, though, and I got a good one for you today at Belmont. We got a horse coming up in the final race. The horse's name is going to be Sonic Speed at the end of the night. 9th race, nightcap. Horse right now on the morning line is 8-1. So go ahead and take that horse, Sonic Speed. And then I have a horse for you guys coming up in the 4th race today, and that's going to be Beat Bullet. Beat Bullet. Let's see how that one goes. But that's my best value of the day. And my kind of somewhat shot of the day is going to be in the 9th race. But hopefully we can keep it a shot of the day. Because, Jeff, I could have a 15-1 right now. But by the time we get to the 9th race, somebody has yelled out in the betting area that the 9 is live. The next thing you know, it's 7-5. Jeff, you know how it goes. You know how it goes. You know how it goes. But I say that you don't yell it out in yell out in the common area. They're just some $2 bettors. But you yell it out in the high roller area. Here comes the guy that's been getting beat all day long and needs to get his money back. 200 on a 200 to win on a 9. You know what I mean? That's the $1,600 hit right there if he gets home. So, loving it, loving it, loving it. But you guys be ready. The website will be coming back around. A lot of my plays and signing up and everything will be a part of that as well. So we need you guys to come on over there so then I don't have to sit up there doing too much too much promotion of the business, because I know it annoys some people, not Jeff, but it's funny that people don't usually do that to me, but I've seen them do it to others. You know what I mean? I don't like that. You know what I mean? Like, oh, here we go with a mid so and so saying this, that, and the third. It's always that person that doesn't bet shit too. You know what I mean? Like, they're not betting anything. They just like to just wake up in the morning and just be mad that somebody's trying to run a business. You know what I mean? So, it happens, but all good. Get that hate out your heart. You're better than that.
The scroll has been going the whole time, and they can go follow Pops, obviously at Pop Dibiase at Prime Wave Media, the prime time capper. Pops, tell them where your shows are today, tomorrow, this weekend, where they can find all your action.
They can find me on the Twitter, like you just said, at Pop Dibiase, and Prime Wave Media, where you guys can see all my news updates. Come Monday, I'm going to start tweeting a lot from that Twitter when it comes to sports news and sports opinions and things like that. So pretty much I'm going to try to make that more of it's sports column, you know what I mean, Jeff? And kind of use my other Twitter as like more of a hey, how you doing, people? Twitter, so pretty much, but I still be doing it from both. But you guys can follow both of those Twitters. Then you guys also make sure you guys follow my YouTube page, Prime Wave Media. There's thousands of videos up there. If you guys need to watch any of my interviews for me to prove who I am, you guys go to Fanatics View. And then we have some of the world's greatest interviews with some of your favorite people up there as well. You know what I mean? So we have that. And then also, you guys, if you are interested, you guys can hit me up on my email, primewavemedia@yahoo.com, if you have any marketing inquiries or things of that nature. And also, if you are looking into, what do I want to say? Also, if you're looking into becoming an exclusive client, then you can email me there. You can message me on the Twitter, and we can sign you up, and we can go from there. I've been in this thing. I've been running PTSI since the start of pretty much 2015, but we made it official in 2016. So pretty much, like Jeff always tells you guys, I've been here for a bit, and you're in good hands, like State Farm, when you're dealing with me. So if you guys are ready, just come on over. If you guys aren't ready, then you guys can go on over and hang out with Jeff for the weekend. Jeff will get you right.
Shout out to the ECSI VIPs. 1-0 to start the day. Twins minus a half run, minus 115. First 5, up 5-0, bottom of the 5th. It's Joe Ryan Day for the Twins. So we start the day in the winner's circle there. Short menu tonight. Not sure if we'll be running the closing bell. If we do, myself and Riley will be back around 4:30, 5 o'clock talking short MLB slate, LSU, Wake Forest, and of course the NBA draft tonight. Otherwise, we'll be back tomorrow, 2 o'clock, with Matt Grissom and Quentin Mills, talking some college baseball World Series. Florida versus, we'll find out, will it be Wake Forest or LSU? So from myself, Jeff Dawson at EC Sports Invest, the one, the only, the legend, the true OG of gambling Twitter, Mr. Pop Dibiase. Wish everyone a blessed afternoon. Enjoy happy hour. It's Thirsty Thursday, and we will see you soon.
Toodles.
Toodles.